Hello, welcome to Tony Halloween. I am Tony Halloween, and on this channel, we're going to be discussing all things Halloween. Today, since this is my very first episode, I just kind of wanted to take some time to introduce myself and kind of talk about who I am, what I want to do with this channel, and let's go from there. So, my name is Tony. I am a Gen Xer, if you can't tell. I grew up in a small little town called Sailor Park. I actually lived on a farm just outside of Sailor Park. But Sailor Park is an old river town. It was old enough that a lot of the houses that are in Sailor Park are part of the Underground Railroad. I had a friend who, if you went into his pantry in the kitchen, you go through the pantry, you push a button and the door opens, and it opens to a secret staircase inside of his house, and there was a few other little secret passages where slaves could go and hide or move from one room to another. It was really amazing. This is a very old neighborhood, and when I was trick-or-treating as a child, the neighborhood itself was basically a spooky, scary setting. And then all of the people who lived there that would go the extra mile to make trick-or-treat extra fun by putting up spooky decorations or making a coffin and crawling inside of it, or the one guy that lived in the old, colonial mansion that would never put out any decorations, but he also never raked his leaves, and he would find various places within his yard to jump out and scare the heck out of you. That was amazing. All of these things have kind of gone to my love of Halloween and why I do the kind of things that I do with it now. As I got older, I started working as a tour guide for the Queen City is Haunted tours. These are available downtown in Cincinnati, and they basically just walk around over the Rhine and tell you ghost stories about different spots that are in over the Rhine. It's a very old part of town. It's a very old part of the country, and there's a lot happening there. A lot of good stories that can be told. I won't go into any of them, but we had a lot of fun. We got to end the tour at 1313 Vine Street, which, if anybody is from Cincinnati and my age, you know 1313 Vine Street as the Warehouse Club. Was kind of a place for freaks and geeks to hang out. It was interesting, to say the least. I had a lot of fun memories from that place. But a lot of people who went there regularly are familiar with the fact that that place is incredibly haunted. And you probably have your own stories from there. I have plenty of my own from doing the tours as well, which is super cool. I enjoyed that a lot. But that, plus, the way that I grew up, it's always kind of led me towards wanting to do a big thing for Halloween. My wife is very into Christmas. I'm into Halloween. And in 2019, I finally got the opportunity to start doing my own Halloween yards. Before that, my sister-in-law had always had a Halloween party, so we would be there every Halloween night and never get to do trick-or-treat at my house. So I never bothered to put up a lot of displays. We put up pumpkins. I might put up a little thing here or there just to let people know that I'm into it, but I didn't go out of my way to do anything crazy. Now, in 2019, in that summer, my sister-in-law and her husband moved out to the country, and they stopped doing the Halloween parties. So that meant that I was able to kind of take over and started doing Halloween displays in my yard and setting things up so that when trick-or-treaters came around, they got the experience. Now, when I started doing my yard displays in 2019, my first thing that I tried to do didn't go so well. I saw a meme where somebody had taken a pallet, buried it kind of in the ground, filled it with lights, put some hands sticking up to make it look like somebody crawling out of the ground, and they said it was portal to hell. When I did it, the lights didn't really glow as the way that I wanted them to. The hands didn't. I mean, they weren't sticking up. It did not look the way that I really wanted it to look. It was a little disappointing, but that's okay. I wasn't put off. The next year, as I went into thinking about what I wanted to do for that year, I wanted to go big. I wanted to do something astounding. And right about that same time, Home Depot was coming out with their giant skeletons, the big 12-foot skeletons that everybody's got now. I didn't have the money to put out for one of those, but I had built a 14-foot flying V guitar out of cardboard and paddled it about 200 yards down the Ohio River. So using the knowledge that I had from that, I figured I could put together some kind of giant monster. And I was talking to my son, who was 10 and 11 at the time, and he was really into something called Siren Head. I didn't know what this was. Apparently it's a video game. All the kids love it. I watched a few videos. He kind of talked to me about what it is and why it scared him so much. And so it seemed like an ideal thing for me to want to do. It was big. It's hard to say exactly how big it was because in every video and every shot, just about, it's a different size. But that's okay. It's big. It's like tree sized. And so the idea was, how do I create something like that would compete with a Home Depot skeleton, but is mine, something that I can put up, take down, not spend a fortune on, and not have to store it after it was all over. And I went back to the cardboard boat races and decided that I was going to build a frame out of PVC pipe and then cover it, skin it in cardboard, and it worked magnificently. A friend of mine lent me a peekaboo, which is a little trigger that allows you to put a sensor on it so that when somebody walks by, a light comes on, lights up the monster. And then I had a speaker set off to the side that played siren sounds. So all the kids that walked by it, the light would come on, Siren Head would be there, siren sounds would start playing, and they would all basically poop themselves. And it was a great time. It was so successful, in fact, that my son the next day at school, now keep in mind, he does not even go to school in this district. His mom, my wife, works as a teacher at a different district, and he goes to there to go to school. But when he was there, even outside of the district, kids were talking about my Siren Head that I had made. So obviously it made an impression and went really well. I'm super excited about it. Now, going forward from there, next year I made a Slenderman. He was not that big, but he was impressive enough. Kids loved it. And then the following year I did spiders, and I made a giant spider. I think it was close to 40 feet long. It was a big black widow spider that I made with PVC chicken wire and covered it in plastic bags, basically. But the cool thing about it was that it was poised right at the sidewalk. And in order for the kids to get down the sidewalk, they had to walk under the spider's legs to get by. And that was awesome. Last year, I wanted to tone it down a little bit just because it was the middle of the week. I was busy with work and didn't want to have a lot to do. So I decided to go with Minecraft, and I just created some mobs from Minecraft, and I had a zombie, a creeper, and I made a 12-foot, it was roughly, I think it was a little taller than 12-foot Enderman, whose eyes lit up purple and was carrying a block of dirt. Super cool. Kids loved it. I also had the chicken and the pig, and the driveway where I sit, I put out carport every year, and I turned that into like a Minecraft hut kind of a thing. Worked pretty well. So that's how I do my yard, and the method that I use allows me to get away with a lot of things that I probably shouldn't be able to get away with, just because of the fact that I don't have a lot of technical skill, I don't have a lot of time, I don't have a lot of money, but that's what life's all about. You work around those kind of things. Now, as for the rest of the channel, we're going to be doing a lot more than just talking about building the Halloween displays. I want to do this all year round, and we'll be talking about costumes. We'll probably do some episodes based on different costumes that I've done, different ways that you can do costumes. I've got a friend who's very, very good at putting together some amazing costumes just in her living room. I also want to do some more spooky things, like going out to haunted places. I want to go visit cemeteries. I want to visit, there's a covered bridge not too far from my house that is supposed to be haunted. I want to go check that out. Another thing that I was thinking about doing on this channel was just maybe telling some stories. I do some writing. There's plenty of creepypasta type things that I can read from, so we'll be looking for those as well. That's basically what we're going to be doing on Tony Halloween, and I hope that you would like to join along with us. If you are interested in doing a Halloween yard in your house, but it felt like you can't afford it, don't have the space, you're not sure of the ideas, stick with us, and we're going to be covering how you too can get away with doing things that maybe you're not qualified to do. It's okay. It's okay. We're not all qualified. So I hope you'll stick around with us. If you're somebody who's interested in doing a Halloween yard, I'm going to be going through the process. This isn't going to be one of those things where I sit down and run through a quick, oh, this is how I built this monster. Ta-da! It's going to be my whole process for creating my whole yard. Building my monster is going to take weeks upon weeks upon weeks to get this created, partly because I have to budget the money for it, partly because it just takes a while to kind of work things out. And I just want to bring you on that process and show you how I do it, so that maybe you too will be able to do that for your own house and your own yard and your own neighborhood kids, because they all deserve to have a wicked trick-or-treat. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, do all that stuff, and come join me as I take this journey to Halloween.